Good morning. Well, got up about 6, so we slept in a little bit. Well, Bunny probably got up a little earlier than I did. And getting ready to warm up the bike, get it all loaded up. We are heading to, let's take a look. We are heading to, let's see, we are right here. And we are going here, and we're going to take the Blue Ridge Parkway all the way up to right around in here. Little Switzerland, we'll jump off and we'll go over here to Linville Falls and camp and do a couple of these this big ride here. Let me zoom out a little bit. So we'll do this ride. We'll probably shoot over and do the camel toe and maybe even this one. I'm not real sure what all rides we're gonna do up in there. But yeah, hang loose. Is absolutely going to be beautiful. The farm's looking really good this morning. Beautiful how the sun comes down through here. You know, when you live by the Smoky Mountains, man, it's just beautiful every day. Even the rainy days are super beautiful. But anyway, let's get back to getting this all packed up and going camping. So the first thing I'm doing here is going through and taking everything out of here that we left in here the other day and making sure that there's, we just left a couple of sweatshirts in here. So a few of the tools, I got my little multi-tool kit, multi-screwdriver kit, my jumper just in case, and you gotta always make sure you got your tools. And I always take one of these tire pumps and a little plug kit just in case. Yep, where we at? Yep, that'll do it. Well, in the middle of loading up, I got a call from a customer. As some of you may know, or may not know, we do a lot of clean outs, and they were on the hunt for this trunk. So we cleaned out this 148-year-old church, and this is actually a time capsule. And they were all up in arms about it. So the good news is we hadn't dumped them trailers and it was still in there. What do you think, sweetie? What do you think's in there from the early 1900s? She don't care. She doesn't, there's no food in there. Next on the table is obviously the rain gear. We also take a rick rack, and that's where we put all of our camping gear. All of our camping gear is in here. Like our tent, our chairs, everything is all in here. And then all of our cooking supplies, like coffee and all of our other stuff, we'll go ahead and put those in the saddlebags. We also do use the cover for the rick rack, and we will use that. One of the things I'm gonna point out here is that this rack that we put on here says 10 pounds. And our rick rack loaded with everything in it comes in at 32, and we've never had a problem. More things, we always take big Ziploc bags, a couple extra eggs, and this is our pans that I showed you back there before I brought them out. And then in here is all of like our stove, our fuel, and stuff like that. And again, I don't suggest putting 30 pounds in your rick rack on your 10-pound rated rack over here. However, we don't get too crazy, I guess, and it's just never failed us, so I don't know, we'll just keep rolling with it. So that's about what it looks like loaded up. Got my jackets, got our jackets anyway. Yeah, pretty much done deal. Let's go. So we stopped at Smoky Mountain Harley Davidson. You know, this is Smoky Mountain Bike Week. They have the the rally going on. But we stopped over here at where Bush's Baked Beans started, and got us a quick little snack in the cafe. It was actually really, really good. So we made it to our little campsite, and it's got this cool awning because it's nice because it's sprinkling, kind of raining a little bit, not bad. Here at Linville Falls, this is our little spot, and they got a little bench, a little barbecue, a little fire pit, and a little shower right there. So yeah, not bad. One of the things we got, I think before our last trip, was this Big Agnes sleeping bag and blanket. Man, is it nice. It is super nice. I mean, this thing is really, really nice. Anyway, again, we'll see you in the morning. Yep. It's about that time. Good morning. Well, good morning. So, yesterday, it pretty much rained all day. Well, in the night, once we got up here, it pretty much rained all night. Got up, had a pretty good breakfast and everything. We did do we rode up to the Blue Ridge Parkway, rode a little ways on the Blue Ridge Parkway. A lot of fog, a lot of rain. So we decided we'd just come back and kick it here at the camp all day. And so that's pretty much what we did. We just had a relaxing day. Today, we will, it's 58 degrees right now. We'll probably wait till it gets up to about 62, 65. And then we'll head out, and we're going to go to Linville Falls, a couple other spots. I'll video them. But anyway, let's have a great day. And it's cold. It's real cold. Well, I'd have to say for the kind of rough weather that we had yesterday, today is just absolutely remarkable. So we're up here on the Blue Ridge Parkway. This is north. This would be south. So yeah, we're just gonna continue north, and man, it is just absolutely beautiful today. The sky is just so crystal blue. It's crazy. Super beautiful up here. So we came up to Grandfather Mountain, and they have some cougars up here. There's one of them right here. It's kind of cool. This appears to be a really cool place. I think it was, how much was it for both of us? $50? $60. So it is a little spendy. But other than that, they do got some pretty cool stuff here. So let's see what we can find. So I guess this is something you don't see every day. A really pretty eagle. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Don't like that. This thing is huge. Cool. We got some really nice bears. Really cool. How about that? Well, they drink a lot. So this is also part of Grandfather Mountain, and that's the mile-high swinging bridge. You can keep going and come all the way up here out to this peak, which is pretty cool because you can see, you get a pretty rock solid view up here. That is for sure. Got this view of this really cool lake down here. That's pretty sweet. Some big houses and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I have to say that it's a little expensive, but I don't know, it's worth doing once, you know. So we left Grandfather Mountain and decided to ride down to Little Switzerland. Grabbed a nice little lunch here at this little Switzerland place. A little expensive, but it was okay. Nothing too crazy. Got some cool little shops to go in and check out. A lot of bikes stop here. And we're going to continue our journey. Because of the flood in 2024, actually the hurricane that caused the big flood that wiped out a bunch of towns in North Carolina, Tennessee, what have you. So the Linville Falls area, whole bunch of areas on the Blue Ridge Parkway were all just smashed. Well, they let you go to the Linville Falls, but you got to park. Like you have to drive right up this dirt road and park, and then you got to walk 0.4 through the woods to see it. And we're going to go ahead and walk 0.4 through the woods and see it. So we'll see what that's all about. Just to follow up on that, the visitor center on the Blue Ridge Parkway for the Linville Falls is closed. So they got to rebuild it and do whatever. And supposedly a whole big piece of the mountain just got washed away. And so, yeah, there you have it. So this is the upper at Linville Falls. It's really pretty. Not sure why they have it all gated, fenced, you know, all this crazy stuff. You can't go near the water and everything doesn't really make any sense to me. But so right, I guess as the water goes down around this corner, it has a pretty big drop over there. But yeah, it's really pretty. Super pretty. But no fishing, no boating, no hiking past the little barriers. But you can see all this debris that's up here from the hurricane that flooded the area. Alright, so we were on the other side of the waterfall there, and then you hike another mile or so up this cliff and brings you up here to this lookout, and then you can see this side of the Linville Falls. It's a pretty easy hike. I don't know, it's not too bad. Probably worth it. It's kind of fun. Anyway, there you have it, Linville Falls. Well, we're not done with Linville Falls yet, so I guess you hike another quarter mile and you get this shot, which is kind of cool. So in the movie The Last of the Mohicans, I guess that's the waterfall that, yeah, I guess it's the Indians went behind that. That's what people are saying anyway. Alright, so we made it back to camp here. What a beautiful day. All in total, we've done 400 to 450 miles, somewhere right in there. And really kind of lost today because of the rain and what have you. But today we kind of made up for it. We went to Grandfather Mountain, Linville Falls, Little Switzerland. And while we were at Little Switzerland, I didn't point this out earlier, you're on the 226A. So you can take the 226A and it connects to the 226, and that is the Diamondback. So I don't know, you hear people talk about the Diamondback or the Rattler or the Dragon's Tail or whatever. Well, we did the Diamondback today, and we've done quite a few of those rides, and I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe 6.5.
Yeah, about a 6.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, the road itself is patched all over the place. Some of it you're kind of coming past homes and stuff and farms, and there is some cross traffic in certain areas. But then other areas do have some nice switchbacks. So it's actually a nice road, and it's easy. 220 curves, I think 12 miles.
I think that's correct. 12.
Yeah, right at about 12 miles. And in Little Switzerland there, we stopped at that little cafe, and I would say we ate for $35.
Yeah.
Something like that, which was a little expensive. We probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know, we try and do things a little bit cheaper than that. And that ended up being a little spendy, and so was Grandfather Mountain. Grandfather Mountain was a little spendy too, but it's definitely worth doing once to see the bears and the cougars and otters and eagles, and they have, what are those, elk?
There were elk.
They got some elk.
I'm going across the swinging bridge and out under the rocks.
Yeah, the mile-high swinging bridge was pretty cool, and getting out onto the rocks. But anyway, we're going to kind of start videoing our little trips. I'll probably get a microphone, make it sound a little better, stuff like that. And then we'll probably try and do a little bit better mapping, show you a little bit better on the maps. And maybe also show you a little bit of the terrain that we're riding on. But until the next video, be cool. Peace.